side. Can't do that. So I just can't bomb it, it's shielded.
You have to hear me out, Captain. I've always stood by you. But if you bring those things on board, I'll have no choice but to resign.
If they're taken to the Aphelion, they will be forced into new bodies, brought back to life in a way they never asked for.
They're not living beings, but they're still dangerous. And if you don't make decisions to protect us, we're gonna end up like Solano. You, me, the entire crew. We're all next.
Doesn't matter, can't destroy it. I'm gonna bet this. No matter what choice I make, it's gonna end up in the Aphelion no matter what. Because I don't think I can beat them up. They'll probably do it before that. And can't destroy the facility. If we try to destroy the vault, it won't work. Because it's shielded. I'm going to bet that. So, no matter what, it's a no-win scenario.
Two minutes and counting. It's headed straight toward the vault. The Aphelion is coming into view now, Captain.
The hell? What the devil is that? It's big.
Arrival at the second vault in less than a minute.
I would remind you, those life forms are to come. Not science, to come. They're not your enemy.
Right or wrong, history will judge you for this moment.
It won't matter.
Transport the storage crystals aboard the Resolute.
Did I hear that right?
That's an order.
Not gonna commit mass genocide.
The storage crystals are on board in our cargo bay.
The first vault that was a Scion vault. This one was the con.
Thank you. I won't forget this.
I hope you realize what you've done. Don't need another captain who's gonna risk our lives just to feed their ego. This ship and this crew come first.
Lieutenant.
She has to hear it.
Stand down, Lieutenant Resurgence. It's done.
Yes, Captain. And to think, I used to look up to you.
The Aphelion is targeting us, approaching rapidly.
Oh, how many that one shot will vaporize the
With
Resolute?
that bioforming ray, and it's over. Maximum warp. Get us out of here.
Where, Captain?
Anywhere but here. Now!
Homecoming.
There they are!
Thank you. I'm not sure one of my kind would have done for you what you did for me. I did not expect a show of mercy. I hoped, but you could have just as easily left me to my fate.
Yeah. Don't mention it.
I won't.
Now that we're safe on your ship, I think you were right to bring her. Things seem a little different now than they did in the heat of battle. There's more than one way to deal with messy situations.
Just because we're back on the Resolute doesn't mean we're safe yet.
Look, this is good. Don't lose sight of that.
Surprises you, but your shoulders separated. If you come with me to sickbay, we'll get you fixed up in no time.
Thank you. I'll find you afterwards.
You two, check in at your stations. This thing isn't over yet.
I can't believe it, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing Chobok. Not that I'd expect this kind of welcome from him, but I can just imagine the look on his face.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna hear about it from him. Let's just go get it over with.
After all we've survived, you're still a pessimist, huh?
I can't believe it. You evaded the Takan, ejected their warp cores, and lived to talk about it.
That about sums it up.
They're going to be teaching this at the Academy for years to come. I mean it. Everybody's going to learn how you pulled it off.
At the Academy? Oh, I wouldn't know about that.
After this, you'll probably get a personal invitation to show them how it's done. I heard about Belle. Is Miranda?
As far as we know, she's still out there.
I don't think she was on the ship when
I
it
know
blew.
Captain Rydek will do her best to get her back.
Hold on. Rydek? What about Captain Solano?
He was turned into a Takan. Rydek had to take over. She's a hell of an officer, but none of us have been up against anything like this. No one has. Not in 500,000 years.
We'll just have to step up and work that much harder to help Captain Rydek.
It's gonna take all of us.
Talk to you later.
It is agreeable to see you again.
Falcons.
Is that so?
It was by no means a certainty that you...
Oh! Oh, come back!
No, it was...
Come back!
But it was my sincere hope you would.
It is agreeable to see you as well, sir.
The comeback! How'd I do it?
I concur.
You should know your absence has left engineering terribly short-handed. During your sojourn, this department has fallen unacceptably behind schedule on both regular and irregular duties.
There's been a whole lot of irregularities.
I gotta admit, it's a little flattering that this place went to hell so fast without me. So, I'll take that as a compliment.
I believe factors other than your absence were also to blame.
Like that?
Normally, I would assign you to one of the many pressing repair tasks. But, given your experience on board the Zeldi, I have suggested you join the senior staff briefing as we determine our next course of action.
Yeah, they know a lot.
You can commence your maintenance shift afterwards.
Just have them go to the briefing room because of all the information they could have.
I attended to an Elydian earlier. Major Sarlet Arminta.
Ah, yes. I met him at the negotiations.
I never would have imagined I'd be here, on the same ship, working together with our oppressors. But now that I am, I can imagine a future where the Hatari and Elydians are no longer enemies. I always hoped for peace, but it seems so far away.
Peace is often fleeting. If there's a chance, you should take it.
Peace with our former enemies may be hard for some to accept, but it's what my people need.
It's coming along nicely. Thank you, Tyler. I'll take it from here. We're almost done.
I have to brief Ambassador Spock in a few minutes.
Ambassador Spock can wait. You have some fences to mend. Personally, I'm against the needless destruction of innocent life forms, so I'm glad you transported the Draconian crystals onto the ship. But Lieutenant Bedrosian obviously feels otherwise. And right now, you need the full support of your ritual. Being an effective leader requires trust. An issue as divisive as this can create discord.
I don't expect everyone will agree with my decisions, and she's entitled to a different opinion, but I'll handle Lieutenant Bedrosian.
You'll be fine, just as long as people feel like they're being heard. It's been a chaotic last few days for everyone. You need to name a new first officer in preparation for what's coming. You'll have to work to regain Lieutenant Bedrosian's trust, but if she's removed from consideration, it comes down to Westbrook or Ermine. Obviously, there are pros and cons with each, but ultimately, the decision is yours.
Captain Solano was going to do Westbrook, so I'll do Westbrook.
Commander Westbrook has seniority and was hoping to be Captain Solano's first officer. Ermont has the knowledge and experience that makes him more than qualified. You really couldn't go wrong with either of them.
At the moment, I'm leaning toward selecting Commander Westbrook as the new first officer.
That would be an excellent choice, considering your history. The crew would respect the fact you chose someone likely to challenge your opinions and present a different point of view. You're as good as new.
Thank you, Dr. Duvall.
Always nice to have a captive audience. Really shouldn't keep Ambassador Spock waiting.
Captain.
I'll meet you inside.
I'm here to officially tender my resignation from the crew of the USS Resolute. I cannot in good conscience continue to serve aboard this ship, not while the interests of the enemy take precedent over the safety of the crew. Lieutenant, we both know how much we need your help and expertise for the coming conflict. I have no one to replace you. I understand, Captain, and I apologize, but my heart is not in it any longer. And to stay would be a disservice to us both. My door is always open if you change your mind. I appreciate that.
She's gonna change her mind.
We'll have Ambassador Spock via subspace shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Armand.
I'll notify Lieutenant Bedrosian we're about to begin.
That won't be necessary.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsolar have first-hand experience with our adversaries. I thought it advantageous for them to join this briefing. I understand this is unusual, but I trust you have no objections?
Talk about moving up in the world.
I'll allow it, Mr. Chobak.
In all seriousness, what Diaz and Edsolar accomplished aboard the Zeldi is nothing short of remarkable. They're both to be commended. Not only for surviving against incredible odds, but for helping our efforts against these scions.
You know, Carter deserves most of the credit. None of us would have made it without his help. We'd all be bioformed by this point.
But there were way more people involved than just me. Not only Petty Officer Edsolar, but we had help from an Elydian officer named Arminta as well.
Interesting.
Ambassador Spock is ready for you.
Put him through.
Captain Rydick, your recent change in station certainly warrants mention, and I trust you to faithfully execute your expanded duties. Right now, we must keep our attention on the clear and present danger that lies ahead, the Takan and their warship. The closest populations are the Hotari and Elydian systems, and they are likely the first targets for mass bioforming. After that, lies Federation space. I have advised Starfleet Command to send an impromptu battle group to intercept and assist you, but that will take time. You are our first line of defense. And with our shield algorithms compromised, we are at a great disadvantage. Of course, you know that as well as I do.
I'm glad to hear the battle group is en route, Ambassador. With what we're up against, we're gonna need all the help we can get.
And you will have it. Remember, our strength is drawn from our ability to work together towards a common goal.
Have we made any progress in finding a way to defend ourselves from the Aphelion's bioforming weapon?
Currently, our shields will not protect us, but I am compiling all of the information the away team gathered on the Zeldi and cross-referencing it against our own as well as Portal 6-3's methods.
The away team is sitting right here. They survived without getting bioformed, so we know it's possible. So, what's the secret? How do we defend ourselves? Is there a weakness we can exploit? Something we can do to avoid getting bioformed?
I wish I could tell you the solution. But the truth is, there is no easy answer. There's no defense against bioforming. One-on-one or on a mass scale. At least, not that I know of.
You may not be able to stop it, but it might be possible to slow it down. It's too soon to say for sure, but we've had some promising indications that derivatives will delay the bioforming process.
So now it's switching between both characters in the middle of a cutscene. Oh dear.
Deridium.
It's not a cure. It's not going to bring anyone back we've already lost. But Deridium is a cell stabilizer, so it has the potential to slow down the onset of physical and mental changes, if not entirely prevent them. And it might be the only ship in the fleet with this much Deridium on hand. In fact, a lot of ships wouldn't have any.
I'll forego the rest of my treatments, if it means the crew will be safe.
Captain, you'd die.
That's an honorable intention, but it's not that simple.
True, the crew comes
It
first.
requires a much larger dose to be effective. We don't have enough Deridium on board to protect the whole crew. We barely have enough to protect everyone in this room.
Sounds like it won't do us much good then.
The use case I'd suggest is that you could buy a little time for an officer or a small group to complete a task or mission. But it has to be taken at the moment of exposure to the bioforming mechanism.
Prepare a delivery method for this remedy.
That raises the question, what is the mission?
Assuming the Aphelion uses shields of some kind, I don't expect it will be easy to bypass their defenses.
We may not be able to block the Aphelion's attack either. But if they do strike, we know their weapon uses transporter technology. We might be able to backtrack their signal path.
Like we did to evacuate Captain Rydek from Tau.
Exactly. We could send an away team onto the Aphelion.
So we could destroy it from the inside.
I'm not exactly sure how, but that's the idea.
So it's like jujitsu. We use their attack and turn it against them.
That's the idea.
We'll keep thinking on it. I'd rather not have to take a direct hit to punch back. There might be some other way we can turn their strength into a weakness.
We'll need to prepare a boarding party, if it comes to that.
Petty Officers Edsolar and Diaz are the logical choices to lead any away mission to the Aphelion. They have already crippled one enemy ship. If anyone can do so again, it is them.
This isn't like the engineering mission that took you to the Zeldi. Do you really have some special insights that a tactical team wouldn't?
Doesn't the fact that we're here speak for itself?
Just surviving won't be enough this time.
We found that only a Takan can operate their technology to its fullest. So, unless we want to try to do this with one hand tied behind our backs, we're definitely going to need an assist from this portal guy.
I like that even less.
Like it or not, that's the truth.
Yes. Portal should be part of the away team. There's no question in my mind.
If this is the necessary course of action, I support it.
I will compile all the latest data on the tricorders, just in case.
In the meantime, I want you working on ways we can combat the Takan tech. Shields, weapons, anything we can use.
Yes, Captain.
Anything else, Ambassador?
I know this matter is in capable hands. Hold the line as best you can. Help is on the way.
Thank you. We have plenty to do and no time for speeches. Let's get to work. Thank you, Petty Officers Diaz and Edsolar. You're dismissed.
While we have a quorum of senior staff, there is a procedural element we need to take care of. The Resolute command codes must be transferred to Captain Rydick for control of the ship.
Of course.
Computer, transfer all command codes to Captain Jaro Rydick. Voice authorization Ermont, Echo 4 Lima.
Voice authorization Duval. Beta 2 Yankee.
Voice authorization Westbrook. Alpha 7 Tango.
Awaiting your authorization, Captain.
Alpha 7 X-ray.
Voice authorization, Rydick. Alpha 7 X-ray.
Captain's codes the updated command structure is incomplete. Please designate a new first officer.
Who is the new first officer?
Please designate a new first officer.
Shut up! How do you?
It is an honor and a pleasure to name Commander Westbrook as my new first officer.
Thank you, Captain. You made the right choice.
Congratulations, Commander. It's long overdue.
I know we've had our differences, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate this.
Computer, Commander Westbrook is the new first officer of the USS Resolute.
Awaiting voice authorization.
Voice authorization Westbrook. Alpha 7 Tango.
Authorization is now complete.
Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
Nicely done. I think that went well.
Captain, could I have a word with you?
Give me a minute.
Look, I respect your decision, Captain. Commander Westbrook has seniority, and I can understand why you might have felt pressure to promote him. But what I can't understand is why you would choose someone so clearly unsuited for the position. It's the very reason why Captain Solano chose you over him. Because he knew Westbrook as first officer would be disastrous.
The answer is simple, Commander Ermont. I need Westbrook's support, especially now. If I chose you, after everything that's happened and him being passed over before, I'd lose him forever. So please, don't take it personally.
It's hard not to when I'm the one who earned it. Maybe I've had it wrong this whole time. But I thought we've had an excellent working relationship almost from the moment you first arrived. You trusted me with the information about Captain Solano being compromised, and I trusted you in return. In fact, I've always supported you, which is certainly more than you can say about Westbrook. He was always against you, especially with regard to Captain Solano. I guess loyalty counts for nothing with you.
Look, I'll be honest. I can't do this without your help. You're one of the best officers we've got, and I need you by my side. Otherwise, we don't have a chance against Galvin. It's as simple as that.
And I'll be there when you need me. Just like I always have.
You'll get over it. My prayer's gonna go to negative again.